Alright guys, so today we are installing this sign and producing it from the beginning. So the great thing about this, it's an individual letter sign. So if you have a table or a cutting setup that's not so large, you can offer signs of any size as long as you're doing individual letters. You're just limited by the single letter size, and you can do quite a bit variety in terms of large signs for businesses. So what you just saw here, so I cut out the lettering, and then I'm doing something that's going to help me out with the install. So after I cut out the lettering, I had it framed in a rectangle, and then I'll cut uh, another pass, just the border of all the letters I just cut, and this is going to come in handy for the install. So it's already going to have all the spacing I need. There's going to be a lot less on-site measuring. It's basically just a stencil to screw everything in. So I did that with the 3 words that are being cut. It's a little bit of extra waste. Obviously you can't bring the letters as close as possible. They're spaced exactly how they're going to be installed. So a bit of waste, but in terms of time saving, you're going to make it up there. And that's the whole point of that strategy. So I'm going to strip the table, collect all the pieces, and I'll take you into how I clean everything up. Alright, so first step would have been to hit it with a wire wheel. I don't think I got footage of that, but now I'm going around it with a flap disc. I basically try and hit the whole border and the screw holes, and you'll see me going around a little bit more on the edge. That's just to get rid of any sharpness. Sometimes with the plasma you get a bit of a serrated or kind of a knife edge, like it cuts on an angle and gets a bit sharp. So I try and deburr stuff just to make it smooth and a nice final product in case anybody else has to handle the product, or for example just to install. It's nice to have nice soft edges on all your parts. So for this specific sign, the customer chose visible screws. So the next step I'll just show you, we're countersinking the screws for the install. It's going to be a sweet install into a wooden wall. It's not every time you get just something you could put screws right into, so that's always nice. I'll show you how I countersink it. This is maybe not the best way, but it's a nice quick easy way. You just take a regular drill bit and you drill right on your surface so it bottoms out on the table below. Obviously you're going to dull your bits a bit, but it's quick. You do it with a hand drill. You don't have to worry about going too deep as soon as it stops drilling, because you're bottoming out on the table. You'll get a nice countersink hole. Just a quick and easy way I like to do it. And then I'll show you a little bit of a close-up of how I clean the parts now that the camera's closer. Basically, so I'll run the flap disc over the wheels, over the holes I just drilled, and then like you see over all the borders, so the inside border of every cut and then the outside border. Basically you just get a sharp edge. It's in general with metal cutting, any kind of process you use, you're normally going to end up with some type of sharpness to the edge, so try and soften it up a bit, and that's the name of the game. Alright, so I got the music cued in now. Obviously this is a pretty straightforward job. It's cut, clean. The design was pretty simple. I just followed the font style that the customer had. So after I'm done cleaning, I'm going to jump right into the install video. Paint was just rattle can paint kind of process, get everything into a flat black color that they requested, and we're going to jump right into the install. Alright, so I'm just confirming measurements. I already have this all documented when I first visited the customer, but basically I'm going to work off center. So I'll take a measurement for the center of the space of the wall that we're working off and mark it with masking tape. It's good to have tape on you instead of having to use pen or pencil and trying to erase it or hide it. Definitely a good option in general. The wood here on this wall is a bit tricky. It was kind of like barn board, rustic wood, not sanded, so the tape did slip and fall off sometimes. But in general, you know, it's a good option instead of actually hard marking where everything's going. Nice and visible. Obviously the client sees it as he was around as I'm installing, so he kind of sees where things are lined up. And you'll see the first stencil here that I cut to give me the spacing for the letters. So I'll just put some screws in slightly to hang the stencil, and then I'll do either letter that doesn't have a screw interfering, put them up on the wall, and this way Once I get the initial position of the stencil, I could put the tape measure away and just focus on screwing in the actual letters. As I was hinting at before, I'm super happy to be installing into a wood wall. More often than not, you're in drywall, brick, concrete, etc. So it's nice not to have to use plugs or pre-drill. It's just about lining stuff up and screwing it in, and it's just a straightforward install. And I'll say it again, these types of signs where it's just lettering or like individual elements, it's great because you could literally make any size. This could have been a full sentence and 20 feet long, and I can install this with just one person, one letter at a time. And the customer, is none the wiser to like how big can you cut. It's no, I can make a sign any size depending on the formatting. So here we go. Alright guys, and just make sure you have some class if you made it this far in the video. So just make sure you comment and like this video if you're enjoying it so far. If you have any questions, make sure to ask, whether it's about the business, the job, the process, anything you got going on while you're watching this video. Or throw in a suggestion if you want to see something new, a different part or angle to projects, or a specific project you want to see running through these videos here. Lastly, just subscribe if you're enjoying it. And so the rest of the installs, just like the beginning, I got the second word up there, and now we're on to the third. You'll see how the tape's coming in handy here. It's just nice way to reference everything. You could see it visually, even though you're trusting the numbers. It's nice to see tape on the wall, make sure everything's lining up. You see me going, and it might look like a random order, but obviously the screws holding up the stencil right now are inside the end. So I'll do everything apart from the end, take it off. I would have marked the screws on the B and the N of the last word here, and now I'm just plumbing everything up so it's straight and looks nice. Nothing too crazy going on here. I'll get the last letters up and then it's a quick cleanup. Obviously move some of the stuff out of the way. It's a good tip if you're installing, whatever you can move. Make your workspace easier. Move, ask. Don't be shy with customers and say, it's better if I have access, etc. Really, everything went pretty good. Like I said, easy install into wood. Just going through every last screw, tighten everything up, and quick cleanup. Nothing to it. So we'll catch you on the next video, and thanks for tuning in. Have a good one.